Good evening. The Supreme Court is the highest legal authority in the U.S., with 9 justices interpreting the Constitution and setting precedents that shape American life. Its rulings on the Second Amendment, protecting the right to keep and bear arms, have had a profound impact on gun laws. The meaning of the Second Amendment has been debated for centuries. Does it protect individual gun ownership, or is it tied to militias? Landmark cases have clarified this. In 2008, District of Columbia v. Heller affirmed an individual's right to possess firearms for self-defense at home, striking down D.C.'s handgun ban. This set a new standard for evaluating gun laws nationwide. In 2022, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association vs. Bruin expanded gun rights further, ruling that individuals have the right to carry handguns for self-defense outside the home. The court invalidated New York's strict concealed carry permit rules and introduced a new test. Modern gun laws must align with the nation's historical firearm regulations. This has forced courts to re-examine gun laws through a historical lens, sparking new debates and legal uncertainty. The Supreme Court's decisions don't just interpret the law, they actively shape the boundaries of gun ownership in America. Every major ruling ripples through the legal system, affecting what guns people can own and where they can carry them. As the court continues to weigh in, the landscape of gun rights and regulations remains in flux. Understanding these decisions is key to understanding the future of gun laws in the U.S. Recently, a viral claim spread online that the Supreme Court unanimously ruled 9-0 on weapon confiscation. This would be a historic, sweeping decision, if it were true, but it's not. As of November 13, 2025, the Supreme Court has issued no such unanimous ruling on weapon confiscation. No decision has authorized or forbidden nationwide gun confiscation. This story is pure misinformation, fueled by the heated gun rights debate. The reality is more complex. The court is considering several Second Amendment cases, but none involve mass confiscation or a 9-0 consensus. Unanimous decisions on divisive issues like gun control are extremely rare. Misinformation often starts with a kernel of truth, like the court's increased activity on gun cases, but quickly spirals into falsehoods. Always verify legal news with credible sources before sharing or believing sensational headlines. In the world of law, the truth is rarely as dramatic as the rumors. While the 9-0 confiscation story is fiction, the Supreme Court is actively shaping gun rights. This term, the court is hearing cases that will clarify the Second Amendment's reach after Bruin. Wolford v. Lopez challenges Hawaii's law banning guns on most public-access private property without explicit owner permission, a law upheld by the Ninth Circuit but struck down in New York. The Supreme Court's decision will determine if carrying guns in common public spaces is protected. United States v. Himani questions whether federal law can ban gun ownership for those using or addicted to controlled substances, like marijuana. The Fifth Circuit said this ban was unconstitutional for marijuana users. Citing no historical precedent, the court's ruling could reshape gun rights for millions as more states legalize marijuana. Notably, the Supreme Court has declined to hear challenges to state bans on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, leaving a patchwork of laws in place. Its inaction means state-level bans remain, but future cases could change that. The court's current focus is on where, and by whom, guns can be carried, not on sweeping confiscation. The legal landscape is evolving, but not in the way viral rumors suggest. Gun control battles aren't just federal, they're playing out in states like Oregon. In 2022, voters narrowly passed Measure 114, one of the strictest gun control laws in the country, banning high-capacity magazines and requiring permits and safety courses for all gun buyers. But the law never took effect, immediately challenged in court for violating both state and federal constitutions. A state judge ruled it unconstitutional under Oregon's constitution, while a federal judge upheld it under the U.S. Constitution. This legal split means the law is in limbo, illegal under state law, legal under federal law. The Oregon Supreme Court is now reviewing the case, and lawmakers have paused implementation until at least March 2026. Measure 114's journey highlights how even popular gun control laws face long, uncertain legal battles. The Supreme Court hasn't weighed in on laws like this yet, but ongoing state-level fights could eventually bring the issue to the national stage. For now, Oregon's law remains a symbol of the deep legal divides over gun rights. The 2020 Ani Tumbern 22, the Swadidadan Pai, Omitanan Dru, Bruin decision changed everything for gun law challenges. Before Bruin, courts balanced public safety against gun rights. Now, any gun law must match the nation's historical tradition from the 1790s. This history-based test has led to chaos. Judges in different regions reach opposite conclusions using the same historical evidence. For example, Hawaii's restrictions were upheld in one circuit, while New York's similar law was struck down in another. This circuit split means gun law legality depends on where you live. Since Bruin, nearly 3,000 legal challenges have flooded the courts, targeting everything from age limits to bans on guns in sensitive places. The lack of clear historical analogs for modern issues has created confusion and inconsistency. The Supreme Court is now forced to revisit Second Amendment cases to resolve the confusion its own ruling created. The legal landscape is more unsettled than ever. Amid all the legal noise, what's actually changed for gun owners? The biggest shift came from Bruin states with strict may-issue concealed carry laws, must now issue permits to all qualified applicants, shall issue. However, many states responded by designating more sensitive places where guns are still banned, sparking new lawsuits. The right to carry has expanded on paper, but its real-world application is still contested. On assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, the Supreme Court has stayed silent, so state bans remain in effect for now. No national law or Supreme Court ruling has authorized or struck down mass weapon confiscation. The core rights from Heller and Bruin, owning a handgun at home, and carrying one in public for self-defense, remain intact. The ongoing legal battles are about the boundaries of these rights, not their existence. In the age of social media, fact-checking legal news is more important than ever. Viral claims about sweeping Supreme Court rulings, like the fake 9-0 confiscation decision, are designed to provoke and mislead. Sharing unverified news spreads confusion and deepens political divides. Always check reputable sources, major news outlets, nonpartisan legal blogs, and official court websites before believing or sharing legal headlines. Understanding the difference between a Supreme Court ruling, a lower court decision, and a pending case is crucial. Misinformation can lead to real-world consequences, from panic buying to misplaced trust in non-existent laws. The Supreme Court's process is slow and public. There are no secret, sudden changes to gun laws. The real story is complex, not sensational. By fact-checking and seeking credible information, we can all help foster a more informed public debate. Knowing the truth about our courts is the first step to meaningful participation in democracy.